Another round for you, Bill?
Sure, why not? Ever since they started letting us drink again, I just can't say no. So, has the old sad sack been in tonight?
Not yet, but it's...
You know, he may...
Well, I don't. A whole bunch are way worse. Anyway, but hey.
Maybe I can get him going tonight and...
Well, speak of the devil. Good evening, Miss...
Whiskey.
Yes, sir.
It is every other night. Why should...
Here you are, sir.
Say, you got a light, pal? Thanks, buddy.
Have I got horn?
No, sir.
Then why are you staring at me like I do?
You used to work in real estate.
Yeah, so? What of it?
So, I'm curious about what it was like to be right in the middle of the lane. But really, I'm more curious about what happened. Is it true you were working for...
I see word gets around. But I've got my own word of advice. If I were you, I'd stop asking those sorts of questions.
Oh, is that a threat? This is exciting. Are you threatening me?
Bill, knock it off.
No, I'm doing more than just... Well, I suppose I've... What's that over there on the wall? The days when I was an upstart kid who... Look where that got me. Ah, forget it. Life's too short to hold grudges. After all, might as well go see how the old bird is doing these days. Can't possibly be worse off than me. This place hasn't changed one bit. At least something from the old days is still around.
Alfie Banks? What on...
Mrs. Merrick?
10 years is much more. In any case, I'm afraid you've picked up...
What's the matter?
It's George, that's...
Killed? How?
You mean you haven't heard?
There's a hurricane coming. It's set to pass through the Keys tomorrow.
So, why hasn't anyone prepared here?
Because it's not expected to come this far north.
Then there's something I'm not understanding. How exactly is George in danger?
We've been living down in Matacumbe. When he heard the hurricane was coming, he sent me up here and refused to budge. He said he wasn't going to let his dream die twice.
That's crazy!
I'm afraid there isn't much that can be done.
There has to be a way. Don't worry, ladies.
Please be careful, Alfie.
And good...
Begging your pardon, sir.
What can I do for you?
Didn't you used to be a guard?
Yes, I did. Until took me years to be able to convince anyone to hire me back.
Oh, sir. When does the next train leave?
It doesn't.
What?
Well, haven't you heard? There's a hurricane set to strike the Keys.
Yes, I have actually.
Well, then you should know that all the trains have been canceled.
You don't understand. It's of the utmost importance that I get down to the Keys.
I do understand. And I'm afraid you're out of luck, friend. There's only one train going down there, and it's not for passengers.
Why not?
Because it's being sent to evacuate the WPA construction workers who haven't left yet. If you need to take a fishing trip, I suggest you wait a few days.
There's something important we need to discuss.
Is there? Do tell.
Look, friend, it's extremely important I get on that train. I have official business in the Keys, and I need to get down there as soon as possible.
Official business? Who would schedule anything with a hurricane about to strike?
You'd be surprised. Some of us can't get a break.
Well, I hear you there. My bosses have been giving me nothing but a hard time for years. But I still don't see why I should let you on this train.
Look, I know you're overworked and probably underpaid. Would it really make a difference if you let me slip past?
My bosses watch me like a hawk, which is exactly why I can't let you slip past. I'm not putting my ass on the line for no good reason, and I honestly don't see one for letting...
I need to save George Merrick. He's in danger.
Merrick? The Coral Gables guy? What's he doing down there?
He's been running a fishing club, but he's insisted on staying behind. Please, you don't know him like I do. He's very stubborn and passionate. If I don't go down there, he won't budge and he'll probably die.
Well, I'm sorry, but I have to stand firm on my orders. You're not getting on this train.
Look, I'm desperate. I need to get on that train. Can I maybe offer you a drink to look the other way?
A drink? You're trying to buy me off with a drink? You're just lucky I've been craving one for hours. Go on, before I change my mind. And if anyone asks, you don't tell them I let you on board.
Deal. Can't see a thing. We should be well on our way. Now I just need to find a way out of this car. The storm seems to have made landfall already. Horse feathers! Sticking around back here probably is...
What? Who are you? What are you doing on this train?
The name's Banks. I snuck on board because I need to get to the Keys.
You're crazy. What were you thinking?
I thought this train was meant to be taking supplies down there.
It was, but the people who sent it underestimated the power of the storm. We're only going forward because there's no way to turn back. The train is already starting to come. You're lucky it came up here when you did. I was just about to detach the locomotive.
But why?
Because if even one car gets blown off the tracks, the rest of the train will too. It's not worth... Damn it! I was afraid this would happen. If we don't equalize the pressure in this car, in the next few minutes it'll come apart. Help me get one of these windows open, would ya? Good going, Banks. Now let's get to the locomotive so we can detach the train. Otherwise, we'll be swept off the tracks along with the rest of it.
The wind seemed to have died down slightly. Or maybe not. I'd better find George. There isn't much... George, open this door right now!
Alfie Banks? I have to admit, you were the last person I expected to see walking through that door. What brings you to my little club?
I came to get you, George. In case you weren't aware, there's a huge hurricane on its way.
I am well aware, yes. In fact, I sent Eunice away because of it.
I know. She's the one who told me where I could find...
I see. I have to confess, but as long as you're here, go ahead and have a seat.
I haven't got time to talk.
I insist. Besides,
George,
Yes?
I know we didn't part on the best of terms the last time. I just wanted to say I'm sorry.
Apology accepted, Alfie. So, now that we've got that out of the way, what else is...
Did you know this hurricane was...
I had heard, yes. The weatherman had been talking about it on the radio. They seemed to take them a bit...
Why haven't you evacuated?
Ever heard the old saying, the captain always... I never abandoned Coral Gables. I see no reason why I...
Coral Gables was
That may be, but I think I've taken...
So, what have you been doing with yourself the past few years?
Well, I always enjoyed it down here in the Keys. It's been a much quieter life than I...
Couldn't the others have done something for you? What about Duck?
I assume
No, I didn't. Huh. George, we need to leave.
you did a pretty good job of convincing plenty of other people in the... So, Alfie...
Coral Gables needs you back, George.
Oh, I hardly think that's... We had our moment in the sun.
There's still so much...
Oh, really? This is an interesting change. Didn't you give up on Coral Gables when you decided to work...
I saw the way things were headed, and
For which I can hardly blame you.
what else was I supposed to do? I still can't understand how you never...
Who says I didn't? Do you think the depression came to Coral Gables? I knew when the bubble had burst.
I didn't know that. I thought you were just naive.
We all have our bad days, Alfie. Sometimes it's bad weeks or even months. But what's important above all else is stick...
I understand what you're saying, George, but times have changed. Principles are important, surely, but the depression and lack of money is all anyone thinks about. You made the city beautiful, sparing no expense. Someone in charge wouldn't think twice about tearing down the Biltmore.
And all the work we did. I hadn't even considered that. It seems living down... All right, Alfie. As soon as this storm... Thank you for helping me see things a bit more clearly.
I think I'm the one who should be thanking you for that, George.
Right. Let's get a move on.
We should be careful. It sounds like the storm... George, this building is coming apart. We haven't got any time to lose. We need to get someplace safer.
When we get out there, we need to head directly...
Right behind you. George, watch out!